What's up, nerds? So, this video is going to be about somebody else that I caught today. It's actually really funny. I don't know how I did it. I was looking up necromancers, and then I was looking up, I looked up the most powerful necromancers, and then some from like 40K was mentioned, and then some from other places. And then another person got brought up who I didn't even think about, Mannimarco from Elder Scrolls, right? Yeah, from Elder Scrolls, Oblivion and you know, online and all this other stuff. And then I thought to myself, well, who could Mannimarco be? And then within like 1 second, like that, this dude popped up, and it makes sense. And I'm like, wow, that was fast. In like 1 second, I was able to identify who Mannimarco is here as a real person, a necromancer from Tamriel, leader of the worm cult. So I have it all pulled up. I have it all pulled up in this video. So if it's true, then that means that not only have I exposed like Section 13 from Helsing, but I've also exposed the Cult of Cthulhu, and now potentially the Worm Cult and their leader, who's Mannimarco, who is like a helper of Molag Bal. You know what I mean? You gotta know about Elder Scrolls to know about Mannimarco. You're not gonna know about it unless you do. So anyway, that's what this video is about. It's about that I have evidence and I can prove that this actor, Matt Smith, that's who Mannimarco is, I can prove that he's Mannimarco through the movies or through the shows he's been in, okay? It's pretty interesting, but I do believe that he really is Mannimarco. And he's also like the other actor from Doctor Who. It's pretty cool stuff, okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, and thank you for being here. Okay, so this is what Mannimarco looks like. This is what he's depicted as looking like. He's a white guy. He's an elf. He's got white hair, like silverish whitish hair, and he's also an elf. And he's not just any elf. He's also an Altmer from Tamriel. And I've identified another person as being an Altmer, Silgi Torp from the Norsemen, the TV show on Netflix. Okay. So here he is. Lord Mannimarco is an Altmer necromancer and Molag Bal's main agent on Nirn. Okay. Nirn is like, I guess, all of Tamriel. Or whatever. I guess I thought it was Tamriel, but I guess Nirn's like the whole world. So anyway, let's see here. And then you just gotta look him up, and there's a whole bunch of lore behind him and stuff. You can read into it. Pretty cool stuff. But anyway, that's who Mannimarco is. He's a necromancer, an Altmer necromancer, and Altmers are elves. Okay, so this guy's Mannimarco. This guy right here, the actor. This guy right here is Mannimarco. He's known as portraying the character Daemon Targaryen, Prince Daemon Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Okay, here he is again. Okay. Now, what a coincidence that I just said that this guy, is from Elder Scrolls. And he's a necromancer. Well, what's that crown he's wearing? I'm pretty sure that crown's made out of bone, right? I mean, it looks like it's made out of bone. And what are necromancers? They're all about the dead, right? Messing with bones and stuff and all kinds of weird stuff. And also look at his armor. It looks like he's got dragons on his armor. See, he got like a dragon right here and a dragon right here. It's got like dragon scales. Well, Elder Scrolls is all about dragons. It mainly focuses about dragons. And the show that I caught this guy being Mannimarco is in Game of Thrones, specifically House of the Dragon. Okay? So this guy's Mannimarco from Elder Scrolls. And then I looked up some more stuff too, like, there's another lore where he comes from called the Dragonborn. I don't really know much about it, but I do know that's kind of like their messiah kind of a thing. Like it's a big deal. It's like it's going to put an end to all their crap, all the bad stuff. That's what the Dragonborn prophecy is about. It's like a person that's in a mortal body, but has dragon blood in them or something. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, that's what this video is about. This video is about Matt Smith getting caught being Mannimarco in a show called Game of Thrones, which is about dragons, and the series he's in, or the episode or whatever, is called House of the Dragon. And here he is in dragon armor with dragon scales, with a bone crown, a white guy and that looks more blonde, but this picture, it looks more white, right? I don't know why it's blondish. It's more blonde here. Maybe it's the lighting, but it's white. He's got white hair. Or it's like super blonde. It looks white. Okay. And then here he is from Tamriel. And Mannimarco's a necromancer. Mannimarco's a necromancer from a place where dragons are like a big deal. And here he is wearing a bone crown, suspected of being a necromancer, white, just like Mannimarco, same hair, just like Mannimarco. And he comes from Elder Scrolls, all about dragons. And here he is in dragon armor, wearing dragon scale armor. And the episode he was in, he's from Game of Thrones, which we all know is all about dragons, right? Daenerys Targaryen or whatever. And then he's from House of Dragons. So I believe that Matt Smith is actually the necromancer Mannimarco from Elder Scrolls. The book or video game or whatever. I found that out today. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, you can't say it's not true. I'll talk for a little bit. It's an 8-minute video, so it'll probably go like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You can't say it's not true. Mannimarco is a necromancer from a place that dragons come from that are a big deal. And then now he's here, and he exposed himself in Game of Thrones. Mannimarco's a white guy with white hair, whitish blonde hair, white hair. And then the same person that I suspect of being Mannimarco is a white guy with white long hair, in a series that's all about dragons, just like how dragons are a big deal where he comes from, Tamriel and Nirn or whatever, same place. And then he's also wearing dragon armor and also has a bone crown. And necromancers all deal with like the dead, right? Like skeletons and bodies and stuff. So that's a little bit weird. And I made that connection. Like I didn't make this whole connection like until recently, like a couple minutes ago, as I was putting it together. But I did it at work, where I was just for some reason I was like, who are the most powerful necromancers? It took about like 5 minutes, and I looked it up, and that was it. And then it said Mannimarco, and I was like, well, I wonder who. I did it I did all the research in like 5 minutes, and I made the connection like a minute. It didn't take long at all, and he popped in my head. I saw an image of him. I saw an image of him in my head, and I was like, oh wow, that's the guy from Game of Thrones. And then I looked into it when I got home, not at work, but when I got home, I kind of like dove into it a little bit more. And I made all those connections. Mannimarco's got white hair. He's got white hair. That guy, Mannimarco's white. He's white. Mannimarco's a necromancer. He's wearing a crown made out of bones. Manny Marcos comes from a place where dragons are a big deal. Like their whole lore is based on dragons. And then I also caught him in Game of Thrones, which is all about dragons. And he's also wearing armor that has dragon scales and dragon armor. I mean, really, dude? Like that that's a lot. That's a lot of coincidences. You know what I mean? That's a lot of coincidences. Like that they all add up. Hair, skin, necromancer, bones, dragons, dragon armor. Where you come from, dragons are a big deal. Where I just found you at, dragons are a big deal. Like, Game of Thrones, big deal. Dragons are a big deal. Elder Scrolls, dragons are a big deal. Like that's a big deal, man. That's you look you're busted. So and the guy he's going by the name Matt Smith, but his real name is Manny Marco. And not only that, but he's also over in Tamriel, he's also the leader of a mysterious cult of dead worshippers, which is called the Worm Cult. And he's the leader of it. So that means he's the leader of a cult. So I've exposed like multiple cults already. I mean, right off the top of my head, Section 13, busted them early on. The Cult of Cthulhu, busted them early on. The Worm Cult, because he's Manny Marco. So these are like a lot of cults that are being busted. And he's like supposed to be the main agent of Molag Bal, who's a Daedric prince and a kind of a big deal deity over there. So pretty interesting stuff to put that all together so fast. I mean, I found out that he was Manny Marco within a second. It was not even funny. It just clicked. The moment I read the name Manny Marco, he popped up. Nothing else in my mind. I haven't even seen. I stopped watching Game of Thrones after like season 4 or whatever. Like after like that bloody wedding or whatever. He's not in that. He's in the other like the offshoot of Game of Thrones. And he popped in my head within a second of me reading the name Manny Marco. He popped up, and then when I got home, I kind of pieced this together. It's like that's a lot of like I said, what's the word? Where it's just that's a lot of coincidences. White hair, white skin, guy, necromancer, bones for a crown. Dragons, where you come from. Dragons of of the person you're playing where you're at. That's Manny Marco. He's basically Matt Smith is pretending is saying he's Prince Daemon Targaryen, but he's really Manny Marco instead of Daemon Targaryen. Does that make sense? Like, oh, here's my chance to not know I'm really Manny Marco and play this character instead, and you think I'm this person that I'm saying I am, but you don't know that I'm Manny Marco because you don't know that people are lying about themselves and we're trying to sniff around farts here and be rude to you and we're better than you. That's Manny Marco. That's Manny Marco. That's Matt Smith, who's Manny Marco. That's him taking the opportunity, taking advantage of portraying himself as not who he is. It's like this whole thing of like, how can I portray who I am without anybody knowing who I am while I pretend to be somebody else. So basically, it's Matt Smith pretending to be Prince Daemon Targaryen, but he's really Manny Marco doing it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's Manny Marco taking advantage of a situation to like, hey, this is who I am. You're taking advantage of portraying of revealing who he is, without you looking at him and being like, wait a minute, I've played Elder Scrolls. Something's not adding up here. You look just like Manny Marco. Just like I said, white guy, white hair, necromancer, bone crown, dragons where you're from, dragons where you're at, dragon armor. It's kind of a thing, man. And I don't know if that's in the show, but you know, him being who he is, where he comes from, he's actually the leader of a dead worshipping cult called the Worm Cult, which is all in his bio. Like, he's got to look up Mannimarco. So that's another cult that's here. That's another cult. I don't know if there's other people, but that's another cult. He's the leader of it, and that's Matt Smith, who's also like in other Doctor Who. There's been like 3 Doctor Whos. I'll make another video later on about another Doctor Who, not him, but another Doctor Who that got the white hair, the gray hair. I'm pretty positive that I know who that is too, and it's gonna be hard to believe, but I really do believe that that actor from Doctor Who, the one with the white hair, gray hair, is actually Beethoven. And I don't know if I can prove it, but I'll look into it. I mean, I'll look. I mean, I'm not making any statements, but I'll look into it first. And if it makes sense, I'll make a video about it. But I do believe he's Beethoven, the composer. Okay, so that's it. That's the video. And yeah, God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.